everything changes. So as we change that, we've decided to, Jolene decided to, she liked the back window better than the front window. The front window was a lot higher, and so when we took the back window off, we put it on the front. So it makes leaning back better. It looks a lot better, believe me. All this stuff in here is just because we can. Just looks cool. Holes are for holes. For just looking good. All the metal work inside was done by Alex and Aaron. You can see how the floor was done. It's a very simple thing. It's just patterns that we've made out of metal. Then we used a little bead roller over there. So it's a tool you can use by your hand. And we put all the floor in there. And everything is not bent up, like it's not all hit with a hammer and all junky. And we're doing this as fast as we can. Like this is 10, 12 days or so. We're close on that. You can picture that. This Cadillac drove in and we chopped it in half, cut the roof off and put the back window on the front, took 2 feet of the porch panels, moved it ahead. We also, we sectioned the door. So what we did is instead of cutting, section means you usually take something out of the middle. So if I have something like this big, and my coffee cup down, when I section, I take a piece of the middle and I make it smaller. So when I section something, I'll cut the bottom of the door off. Makes it easier for me, and then I can just make the bottom of the door. The sills are then doubled up and made bigger because the car has become a convertible. We don't want it to flex and bow and all that sort of stuff. And this is where we start. We do it all down to metal work, and then we move up with auto body work, and that is the filler and the primers and all that sort of stuff. We hang pieces to paint pieces. I mean, everything is put in a little room and you sand it. It's like this. I told Jolene she was having a problem with her nails sticking on. And I told her, sand the nails before you stick it on. It'll stick better. Now she ripped the damn nail off and couldn't get the nail off. You know what I'm saying? So when you do automotive work, you have to sand paint. When you see paint that's falling off, someone didn't sand it. So you sand everything before you apply something else. If you can't read the directions, I just told you to sand. Right? Anything else? We can show you the motor and chassis over there. Alex is doing that. You can see what a chassis looks like. Most cars these days don't have chassis. Chassis is what I'm calling the frame. So that's kind of a...
Has it already been cut?
Yes. This is already... You can see where it's been cut. It's kind of obsolete nowadays because cars do not have frames. They're all like unibody. Trucks have frames, but cars do not. So what we have done, where they put together, we put it in the center. Now Alex and Aaron did that. We cut it out and we did the exact measurement. What I did to the car, they cut out of the chassis. The chassis was stripped by Nathan and Colton and Nick. They all kind of stripped it down, got it looking the best they could. We're trying to build these cars in 35 days.
Wow.
Most of you couldn't change your mind in 35.
It's not an 8-to-5 job anymore, is it?
But anyways,
No.
yeah, we're trying to be the best we can be, is what we're trying to be. We're trying to build 7 cars in 7 months. And we do all like this, the chassis, everything. So everybody has to go forward. There's no allowance for going backwards. When you go to work somewhere and you and you don't listen to that person, what they want, and you take them backwards, you probably won't have a job the next day. You know what I mean? Or a few times, you might be able to do it a couple of times, but when you start costing somebody money and you go backwards, you're not going to have a good day at work. The boss is going to be pissed. It's like Aaron said, rip the bathroom floor. When you go back home, you don't go and see the kitchen ripped out and the bathroom floor ripped out and the ceiling ripped out, because that just cost him a bunch of money. So
Chad, you're doing all your work in-house? You cut this drive shaft, you guys cut that off?
Alex cut that right there sitting on his lap. We do everything in-house, and that's what I'm saying. Everybody's kind of got their own talent, you know what I'm saying? Alex, I'll explain how dry shaft, when you cut a dry shaft, this is how I would do it. I put it in the chop saw. If y'all care, don't matter if you do, if you don't. It's up to you. Put it in the chop saw, cut it off, and these have to line up. That joint there, you see this, how this piece here is like that? It has to line up with this one down here.
Yeah. It's a little interesting. Sometimes it seems intimidating, you know, something like that.
All right, see y'all in the morning. See you in the morning, Bruce. Ellie's a good dinner.
Especially if you swallow it.
Huh? If you swallow it,
Did you get that through yet?
swallow it.
Not yet.
Yeah, I got those flavors right.
Why are you so down?
Oh, I'm not.